Calling from an 848 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sam. This is Sean from Jersey City.
Sean, could you stop talking in the cup that you're talking to? Could you talk to us on your phone, please?
Sure, Sam.
Okay, thank you.
So I saw the interview with Professor Carol Anderson at the beginning of the week.
Yes.
Thought it was great stuff.
Thank you.
Sam?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. So I was thinking about, as a counter to some of the voter suppression we're seeing, as compulsory voting. How do you feel about that? What kind of hurdles would we have aside from the Supreme Court?
Well, I mean, it could be the Supreme Court. Frankly, I mean, I think it could be the Supreme Court. I don't know. I don't know why you couldn't pass. I mean, I guess you could structure it very similarly to, some type of tax that you're subject to, that you get a rebate on that tax if you vote. And I mean, if you can do that, if you can compel, if you can compel people to buy a private product, to actually expend money on health insurance, in the form of it being, sort of a tax rebate, essentially, or deduction, if you get the health insurance, then I don't know why you couldn't do that with voting. I think compulsory voting would be good if we combined it with moving it to like a weekend and I should say also allowing for early voting, or perhaps voting by mail. So I'm all for that. That's good.
Well, just removing all of the measures that keep people from voting would be quite helpful on the way to there too, don't you think?
Sean is totally for obstacles to voting, but yes.
No, we're so far away. We have like the opposite of that right now.
He said,
right.
That was very deadpan.
Appreciate the call,
good.
Sean.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the call. I don't see why you couldn't do that. At least why I couldn't.
I don't
Make
like
it a holiday,
the idea of putting it on the individual citizens to vote. I'm much more into the idea of things at the policy level that make it easier for them to do so, Why
not? We compel people to pay taxes.
Yeah, and I don't like that either.
Oh, all right. Well, there you
go.
mean,
sounds libertarian.
No. I'm being facetious. It's always better to do things on the policy level than on the level of lifestyle politics or trying to shame individual people or coerce them.
Compulsory, well, it is coercive,
way.
But that's not lifestyle politics at all. And
no.
It's definitely, in a place like Brazil.
It's not saying you should make a choice. It's not saying that you should make a.
Why Lula and Dilma were elected.
Yeah, you're not making a choice. You're not forcing people to make a choice in terms of lifestyle. You're compelling them to do something that is like one of the obligations of being a member, being a citizen. You need to pay taxes. You need to get a Social Security card. You actually don't really need to do that. You can not sort of avoid that. But
I don't want to spend my time browbeating people who don't vote.
It's not a browbeat. It would literally just be legislation. You don't have to do anything. Just legislation. It's simple. It's easy.
Don't see what it's going to do for them. But agree to disagree.
Well, you could, and then just pay a tax penalty.
I would be into it if you could get an exemption if you showed you participated in at least one direct action that year.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Here's a picture of me at a protest. You can't see it too well. There was about 20 of us, and we were banging drums. Can I not vote now, please?